Hi there, good afternoon. It's Steve here. We're going to run through today some really exciting stuff that's coming in the next version of Prima Cloud. The guys in the development team have been working away for quite a few weeks now, since you'll have seen a kind of general customer release. There's been a few internal releases happen, but the actual customer official release is scheduled for the week of the 10th of September. So we're looking around that time. There's going to be a general release to the customers. So just wanted to give you an insight really into what's coming in the new version. Some really big changes from a kind of efficiency point of view that should really benefit our customers. So, as well as the standard changes that we do on a monthly basis as well. So, I'm just going to run through kind of some of the highlight ones, and then we're going to publish the release notes afterwards, and that will have a full breakdown of what's coming in that release and what you can expect. Okay, so I'll start with the kind of automation side of things. I suppose it's been a pretty big change for how Prima is going to be working in the future, and it's the start of something really exciting, allowing our customers to kind of improve their efficiencies by a factor of a great factor. So what it comes down to is we've got customers who have orders coming in through the web, and on the basis of that, the orders would come in through the web, and then based on a certain set of criteria, the system can pick by customer, location, plus a set of kind of financial rules, if you like, in terms of margins, order values, and if the order is within those tolerances, automatically gets ordered, authorized, and purchase order generated is what I mean. As it stands at the moment, we've got VOW and Spices enabled on the auto purchase. So if I just show you into our admin area, if I log into the admin area, and I'll just show you now. What happens is there's a couple of areas where you'd go and set it up. So within the sales system keys, you will have a list of options that you can choose. So you can put minimum margins in here. You can enable at line level the high margin, and you can perform all these checks essentially. So what happens is if you run the auto purchase routine, it will update automatically and purchase. Okay. So because you guys haven't got it yet, in terms of the detail that we show you, I don't want to go into too much detail because we'll have to discuss it individually with the customers and will it suit their business model. But anyone who's using a web portal to bring orders into Prima, such as Evolution, for example, and want to improve the efficiency, it works well if you're buying from VOW or Spices, and essentially you want the system to take over and run the purchasing side for you. Then it's the case that we believe that this will be the start of something really, really big for our customers in terms of efficiency. So we're really excited about it, and this is the I suppose the early phase of it, and we've got some customers kind of working it into their business at the moment, and the early feedback is really positive. Okay, so as well as setting these margins, order values, etc., you can also choose in the in this option here, which will have its name changed when you receive it, just to say automation, and we'll have there's going to be a dedicated section for the automation side of things. Okay, so within here, when you use the auto purchase routines, you can set what you want the system to do in terms of your deliveries for your relevant suppliers. So do you want auto purchasing to work for direct deliveries, standard, pick wrap, or a mix, or a combination of all of those? Okay, so that's a big change as we see it in terms of our customer efficiencies as part of the order process goes. So really excited to see some customers speak to us about it and hopefully start using it and see the benefit. Like I say, using Vow and Spices, it will be really, really positive for the business, I'm sure. As you'll be able to see in here, as you're looking at the screen now, there's this new option as well called Auto Report Setup. And again, this is delivering a level of efficiency not kind of seen in Prima before, but on the reporting side. So what the Auto Report does, if you have, for example, let me make that full screen. If you have, for example, a particular customer or a particular rep that requires a report at a particular time, then from the list of reports that you have in your database, you can assign a email address or combination of email addresses to receive that email on a given date or on a given frequency. Okay. On the back of that, you could also set it to send to a particular printer if you wanted to at a certain time. So at the end of the day, for example, you might want someone to get their daily reports all sent to the printer, so then you can hand them out to the sales staff. So in essence, you would set up your reports as you need them in the reporting area, create some custom copies, and then in here, when you add an automated report, you basically choose the report from the list that you'd want to use, set a schedule which can be edited at any time, choose the nominated email addresses, and then you've got a subject of the email that the customer is going to receive and a body of text. Here's your figures for the month, whatever it may be. Okay, so this, I know we have lots of customers that prepare reports on a weekly, monthly basis for your customers. Might be cost center reports, it might be a usage report for a period of time, and what this will allow you to do is essentially set it up once, schedule it, and then the system will basically communicate that to the customer as per the schedule. So really, really powerful tool to allow you to kind of offer this reporting service that I'm sure you guys are doing as I suppose at a manual level at the moment, but we're improving that efficiency so you're not having to go and recreate those reports every week, month, day, whatever it may be. Okay. On the back of these automated reports, we've also kind of taken it one step further. So whether you may or may not know, in the system now, what can happen is you can set permissions for particular users. So as a rep in the system, I might only be able to see the accounts that I'm responsible for. Okay. On the basis of that, what can happen now is, in the next version, the reports themselves, when you run the report will be relevant to your permissions in terms of the companies that you can access. So whereas the version you have now, you can essentially run a sales report. If I'm locked to my accounts, I can run a sales report that's only relevant to my accounts. Okay, so again, it's having that permission structure in place and being able to essentially lock down those records to make sure that the relevant people are seeing the information they should see and not seeing information that's not relevant to them. Okay, so another big change in terms of the way that Prima has worked in the past, and it's a massive improvement for the from an efficiency point of view with these reports. So two kind of big changes, and I think they'll be really positive from our customers once they start using these, because I know you've all got lots of custom reports in the database at the moment. Okay, so there's some changes, I suppose, to the admin area. There's obviously been stuff going on in the back office as well. So I'll just minimise the admin. My database here is running version 21. Essentially, the customer release is, as we know it now, is version 22. Okay, so in version 22, if you use your price checker, what you'll have in the price checker, put your customer in, you have your search facility to find the customer and the code, etc. Once you've found the code and the price, you'll now have the opportunity from the price checker to generate a sales order and quote directly from the price checker. So you take a call from a customer, for example, find the customer's name, KF24001, whatever it may be, Prima will return the price, and then you'll have some options: generate quote, generate order, directly from the price check. So very quick access without having to go through to the kind of sales quote or sales order screen, which some of you may do now. Okay. So we've got. I'm just going to run through some of the other bits in here now. It won't be in any particular order as such, but I just want to highlight some of the bits that are standing out to me that I think you'll be able to benefit from. Okay, so customers who manage mailers in the database, there's a small but decent improvement in the grid manager facility, in that whereas now you have to, within Prima itself, you have to manage a mailer line by line. In the upcoming version in the grid manager, you'll have an option to remove from your mailer a group of items at the same time. So it will save you time regarding the line by line process that you currently have at the moment. Okay, so within, if I just go into, I'm just going to jump through into purchase orders. In the upcoming version, within a purchase order, the purchase order screen, as you see it now, is going to essentially be like the sales order screen for fast entry of the lines onto the purchase order. So whereas now you've got this section and you need to go into the lines if you're putting a stock order on, from the summary tab where we are here, you'll be able to key the lines straight into the PO as you can, exactly as you can on a sales order. So again, just helping speed up that process. On the purchase side as well, what we've also done is we've put a report into the database which will allow you to analyse your supplier spend and what are you buying from your suppliers. So you'll be raising all your purchase orders, purchase invoices and credits over a period of time, and then you want to go back and say, okay, over the last 6 months, what have we spent with Spices, what have we spent with Vow, what products are we buying from Antalis. Okay, so in the analysis area, you will have in here, you will have a purchase order analysis essentially in here as well. These are all my reports. Let me just get rid of them. So you will have a purchase order, a purchase invoice analysis essentially in here. Sorry, it's not orders, it's invoices. So what it'll look at is posted invoices and credits, but work in the same way as the invoice sales analysis report does now. So you've got that pivot table functionality where you can drag and drop codes, suppliers, date range, months, etc., and product groups, product subgroups, and you can get an idea of the spend patterns with your suppliers, comparing them against each other, etc., and obviously your cost values in there. Okay, so it will be a really, really useful tool for anyone on the kind of buying side that wants to look at what are we doing with each supplier, or you've got your rep coming in to see you and you want to kind of negotiate some pricing. You will have the full visibility over a given date range of all the purchase invoices and credits for all your suppliers. So really, really powerful report, and once that's into the database, I'll definitely run a session on that, so everyone can get in there and start using that straight away, because I know we've got lots of customers that use the sales analysis side of things, but you need that on the purchase side as well, especially where you're using lots of different suppliers. Okay, so that was on the purchase side. If I go into a sales order, so I just take any sales order in here. It opens. Okay, what you've got in the section down here is basically visibility of supplier stock as a kind of live feed, if you like, and the lead time of that product as per the supplier catalog. So you will have, if I put a VAR or Spices code in here, automatically before you save that line to the order, I'm getting a value back from the wholesaler telling me what stock I've got. You've still got visibility of your own stock here, but if you're running direct delivery orders or pick wrap and you want to place the order there and then, it's good to know what the stock is in place. So the suppliers on board that you can use for this are Vow, Spices, just check the note, Antalis and Trueline. Okay, so if you use any of those suppliers, then you're getting some really good information as and when you're putting the line onto the order. Okay, so the lead time is given by the supplier as well. So as you'll know, most of the stuff from the stationery side certainly is next day, and then you might see some furniture items on there with a longer lead time, etc. So really, really handy feature as you put in the order through. Okay. On the invoicing side, so on the sales, but on the invoicing side, we've done some changes to the available lines. So in your available lines, you will have some more information around dispatch dates, authorization dates on the orders, essentially giving you better visibility within the grid when you're trying to create your invoices and you essentially want to know more before you put the lines onto an invoice. You'll have better visibility in here in terms of the in terms of the columns that you can see, just some extra columns coming into this pop-up to help you produce your invoices. Okay. I'm just coming to changes towards the supplier side of things. I do like to keep people up to date in terms of who's on board now and what's the kind of update in terms of the level of integration that we've got. So there's a new supplier in the file available in terms of remanufactured toners called Trade Supply. We've had a couple of customers start using them, and they're proving really popular. And so they've gone about setting up the EDI. So there's EDI acknowledgements and orders being sent across, and that's the integration is in the notes here, and it's going to be in place. But I think the guys actually want to go live sometime in September. So if you don't speak to them, it might be worth having a conversation and looking to get an account set up in place, because they're proving pretty popular with some of our customers. So okay, so there's a Trade Supply, there's UFP stock checking is available in the new version. West Coast, there's been some improvements to West Coast's terms. So there's that on an EDI perspective. So all the time we're just looking to improve the links that we've got with these suppliers. Okay, so from the supplier side, you then get the data on the back of those, and what we've got in the new version is as well an improvement to the way you guys receive an alternatives file from the system. Essentially, as you may or may not know, the company of Fusion Data that manage the data feeds for a lot of the product files, their alternatives file, which is very much up to date, is essentially available in the new system. So you will be able to have your own alternatives, and it can be supplemented by the Fusion Data alternatives at the same time. So this feed will just be as you get your data files coming into the system, and as you put on, we got the order down here. Looking at here, if I go into this line, the alternatives that are available in here, you'll essentially get a much better and regularly maintained list of product alternatives that you can use, and that obviously publishes to the web. And there's been improvements to make the alternatives run faster on the web, on Prima's web store as well. So big improvements on the data side here, and we hope we can get our customers using these alternatives regularly, and you'll have that within the sales orders and quotes as you do now, and then you have it through into the requirements area if you need to switch to an alternative in the requirements. Okay. So massive improvements to the quality of the data that's there. Okay. So I touched just briefly there on the web store. There's kind of incremental changes that go on in the background with the web store, and they're put on the change log of the control panel. There's a nice little feature that was put in the last week or so, whereby if I show you now, as a customer's browsing the store, if I'm into a product group, there just happens to be one product in this case. If I'm into a product group, then what happens now is we've updated the menu, so your navigation menu follows you down. So if you're looking at a group, so if I just find one, adhesives for example, I'm sure there's quite a few products in there. As I'm scrolling through and I get past the what's called the fold line on your page, your menu stays with you, so that the user, your customer, doesn't have to scroll back all up to the top if they need to switch to a different section. The menu will just follow them down. So nice usability feature there, and we hope our customers will start promoting that to your customers as it's available now. I don't think you have to wait for the update for that. You should have it straight away. Okay, so I've been through a fair few things there in terms of what's coming in the new version. When the release notes are published, you'll see there's actually around 80 changes, so including the new features that I've talked about. There's kind of little incremental improvements, there's some fixes in there as well. So as always, we'll publish the notes prior to you guys having the release, and then you'll be prepared for when the release comes out. If you need to talk to us about any of the stuff you've seen today, or once you've had a read of the notes, you need to clarify some information, obviously you can get in touch and we can discuss those with you. But we're kind of really excited about this release, because opening up the automation side of things is the big key for you guys, improving your efficiencies. So it's from my point of view, from a training point of view, it's really good to kind of promote it and get everyone on board with it. And you guys, obviously at your end, the less touches, if you like, that you have in the system, and it's doing the most of the work for you, then obviously massive improvement. So that's what I wanted to cover today. I could go into every single fix, but we'd be here for a while. So I'm just going to say that's what we covered today, and we'll be around for a few minutes if you want to ask any questions on the stuff, and we'll publish the release notes probably early next week. And once you've read those, if you need any questions answering, then you can just get in touch and we'll be happy to help. Okay. Well, thanks for your time today, guys, and I'll speak to you next week. Cheers. Thank you.